roughly 25 seconds.
Just give me a countdown from 5.
Gotcha. Just waiting for it to pop up on YouTube just to catch up. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome in. For those wondering who we are or where we are, you know who we are. We're the Hoop State Network. I'm Miles Mastrocola. We're in my living room. We're on location. Max is on the camera. I'm chilling here. And we're going to talk about Kinston and Washington, amongst other things in Hoop State. I want you guys to get active in the chat. I want everybody to lock in with us tonight. The link for the stream for purchase is in the description of the video below. You don't want to miss this. It's the return of Dontrez Styles. That's really the lead storyline. And let's talk about it. So Dontrez Styles, you know, one of the top kids in the country, one of the premier forwards this country has to offer, committed to North Carolina. After this weird summer played, I know he played that one tournament with CP3. I think he played another tournament as well. So we haven't seen a ton of Dontrez in action. Everyone was looking forward to his senior year at Kinston because Kinston is, I mean, let's be real. Kinston is a hub. Kinston's a real hub in the state. He got hurt in his first game, and it was scary. He had to leave in an ambulance. Luckily, disaster was averted. It was really more of a scare than anything else. And now, a few weeks later, Dontrez Styles is getting ready to come back and play basketball again for the Kinston Vikings. And what makes this matchup interesting is the fact that they're playing Washington tonight. And Washington, in one of the first games, it may have been the first game without Dontrez, they killed Kinston, like 76-40 at their place. And it was spicy. They were talking in the locker room. There was a lot of stuff going on. It was, one of those things that I'm sure every player from Kinston is going to remember. And I think they're going to remember it tonight. I think Dontrez is going to remember it tonight because, they got embarrassed. And even without Dontrez, that was not something anybody expected to be, a 35-point game. Excuse me while I drink my cold brew. Like I said, we're at the house tonight. We're laying low. We're hanging out. I can't wait to watch the game on stream either. But either way, we have that coming up. And the thing with Dontrez is he's back. And the kind of kid that Dontrez Styles is, I think he's really going to come out with a point to prove tonight and show that he can put this Kinston team on his back. He does everything for them. He wears all hats. He's going to be the guy that's initiating the offense. He's going to be the guy making plays for others, making plays for himself, protecting the rim, being a leader, doing everything, rebounding. So he's just, he's a well-rounded player, a well-rounded kid, and I think he's got a chance to lead his team tonight. But the thing with Washington is they're for real. Like, they're a real team. They're sitting at 3-1 on the year. They're 3-1 in their conference. They're led by a duo, an Omarion Blunt, who is a dynamic shooter, like a knockdown shooter from distance. He's averaging 19 a game. And they also have Mr. Moore, who's averaging 18 points a game. And that's such a big thing when you have two guys coming in providing major offense like that. It's something that should be it's serious. It's very, very serious. It's just a well-rounded team. And I think it's a team that should be taken seriously in the 1A East as a potential contender. So, like I said, Terry Moore, Omarion Blunt, that's their dynamic duo in the backcourt. Omarion's a 6'2 senior, and he's a kid that's trying to prove himself. And obviously what's been a weird year for North Carolina kids, not just North Carolina kids around the country that haven't been able to get an AAU season, those kids kind of on the fringe. He's got a chance to play for a scholarship here, and him being such a high-level player, he's got a great chance to really prove himself in a game against Dontrez Styles. So, like I said, we really want people to lock in. The stream is in the link in the description below. It is purchased. It's just as much as if you'd be paying to go to the game. So I think the biggest thing, lock in with us for the stream tonight. We got more streams coming tomorrow as well. I want to plug while I'm here. We have South Granville taking on Davidson Day. I believe that's at 6:30, and then that's at 6, and then I believe the 2:30 game is Lake Norman Christian at High Point Christian. So a free Mikey Williams stream, and then behind a paywall for the second one. So we want you guys to lock in with us for that. Support the Hoop State Network as we continue to grow and support these young athletes and help them get seen. So I think it's going to be a great weekend of basketball. And I think that if you look at the 3 keys for each team, I'll start off with Kinston. The first thing for Kinston is you want Dontrez Styles to command the defensive side of the basketball. They gave up 76 points the first game out to Washington, and that was just far too many. If they can find a way to play this game in the 60s tonight, I think they have a great chance to win because the way that Dontrez Styles can be patient on offense, get high-quality shots, I don't think that's going to be any debate. There isn't anybody that can guard him really in the state, let alone on Washington High School. So if he can find a way to impose his will and get himself back into a rhythm, that's huge. But I think that starts with him on the defensive end. His ability to rebound, start possessions, go coast to coast, look for pitch-ahead passes. And the supporting cast for Kinston needs to fall back into line. Whenever you have a player like Dontrez Styles leave the lineup, especially when it's a scary circumstance like that, and there's a little bit of uncertainty on whether he's coming back or not or when he's coming back, the guys probably got a little too big for the bridges and had to try to play outside the role, and it hasn't gone well. Kinston has taken a few big losses that is just not Kinston-esque. It's just not what they do. And we're talking about a program here that's produced guys like Reggie Bullock, Jerry Stackhouse, Brandon Ingram, Charles Shackelford. There's so many. Cedric Maxwell. There's just so many guys that Kinston's produced. Dontrez Styles has an opportunity to be that next in line, and having him back is huge. But if they can get guys like Jeremy Dixon to provide a nice supplemental punch on both ends of the floor, that will be huge as well. And I think the other thing for Kinston is they just have to have fun. Like, it's basketball. We're in a situation right now where not every game is guaranteed. And Dontrez knows that because of the scary injury. But the other thing is, like, we have teams being canceled, having games canceled left and right. Luckily, it seems like we're on the right side of the COVID peak from the holidays. So I think cases are starting to go down, but there's still a very big risk of potentially having your season halted or even canceled completely due to the coronavirus. So I think for one thing, if they can just have fun and take some pressure off and just say, hey, like, let's play the game we love and enjoy doing it, I think that's a key for Kinston as well. For Washington High School, they need to continue to try to impose their will and play with that same edginess and nastiness they brought to the table the first time they played Kinston, and really what they've played with all season due to with that 3-1 record and sitting at 3-0 their conference. They control their destiny in the conference and could potentially line themselves up for getting a really, really high seed in the 1A state playoffs. So that's one thing to note there. So they have to play with that nastiness and that chippiness. And I think the other thing is you need Omarion Blunt to shoot the ball with confidence. I don't think that's going to be an issue. That kid shoots the ball with confidence every time. He's a 40+% three-point shooter. And I think if he's someone that can hit shots early and kind of take the will out of Kinston, a team that might be down on itself, if they can't find a way to play with that looseness and that freeness that we typically see from them. The other thing, they have to find a way to manage Dontrez Styles' rebounding and find it, especially offensively. If Dontrez is living around the rim with that size advantage, like this Washington roster, they have a few 6'4" and 6'5" guys. They don't have a ton of huge guys on the roster. Dontrez Styles, at 6'8", 215 pounds, can find a way to have a big impactful night on the glass, grabbing 12 to 15 rebounds and getting those extra possessions for potential inside-out threes from a guy like Jeremy Dixon or something like that. So I think that's really big. It's going to be interesting tonight. I think we learn a lot about Kinston after a night. I think we learn about Washington after a night, no matter what the result is, one way or the other. Rod and Simmons will be on the call. I think Rod's going to arrive shortly after tip-off, so he'll be booting up. I wonder if they're from the Nest or not. You never know with the Nest in Kinston. I know the place won't be packed like it was last year for the Kinston MLK. I cannot wait to be back in that building, hopefully next year, for a sold-out house with everybody vaccinated up, coronavirus free, ready to roll. Because there's nothing like that place, man. There's nothing like a packed game in Kinston. It is a special, special environment. We got to go twice last year. The only 2 times I've ever been, and it was such a memorable experience. So, like I said, the stream link is in the description. Be sure to cop that and rock with us all night long. Go to hoopstatestore.com. Rock the hoodie I'm rocking right now. Y'all can get it. They're pretty fairly priced. I don't even remember what it is, like $35. Like, we should probably be selling these joints for $60, but we're doing y'all a favor, honestly. I'm just kidding. But either way, we got stuff going on, man. We're bringing the action. Like we said, Kinston and Washington getting ready to go from Kinston, North Carolina, the legendary gym with the Brandon Ingram banner hanging up and all those state titles that they have over there. Such a historic place, such a historic school. And now that they have their main guy back in Dontrez Styles, it's going to be a great night of basketball, and I think it's going to be an opportunity for everyone in the Hoop State to see the best of ENC. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. So be sure to lock in with the stream. And like we said, tomorrow, Lake Norman Christian, High Point Christian, early, 2:30. That is for free on YouTube. I want everyone and their mother watching that. Watch it on 5 devices. I want the views skyrocketing. I want the views to be like GameStop stock and just go through the roof. I want everyone to lock in for that game and go absolutely crazy. I want the chat thumping. I want everything to be live for that game for High Point Christian. KJ Garrett having a great senior season, really proving a point as one of the top unsigned kids remaining in North Carolina. And this Lake Norman Christian team, they are starting to figure it out. They are really, really figuring it out under Pat McCarthy. Michael Williams playing the best basketball of his career. Trey Green, AJ Allensbach, Josh Bullock, that whole crew is really, really looking good. And then at night, 6 o'clock, big game. Private versus public, South Granville, Davidson Day. 2 teams that have state championship or bust mentalities. Going to be an unbelievable game. Donovan Atwell, one of the great shooters in North Carolina. Colin Tanner trying to prove himself as that. So it's going to be a big litmus test for Colin Tanner to prove that he can go with any of the top shooters in North Carolina. Bobby Pettiford, we know what that deal is. We know all about that. I don't even need to say much. So, and then outside of those guys, you also have a guy like Blaine St. Clair, Jackson Prunty at Davidson Day. But yeah, that's about it. There isn't too much more to get to. Like I said, we really appreciate everyone watching and locking in with us for this pregame show. It means a lot to us. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. The stream is in the link below, and hoopstatestore.com. Thank you so much. We'll see y'all very, very soon.